And the stuff that he is saying right now is beyond crazy. He's saying that this caravan of 7,000 people who are desperate, and this is, if you guys know this, this has been repeated throughout the existence of humanity, where when during World War II, where the Jews tried to, save their lives, and the Italians send them back, this is the same thing. These people are coming from a dictatorship where there's death and murder and craziness, and they're trying to save their families' lives. And this fucking president is using this as a political ploy and making up that these 7,000 people were hired by the Democrats. Is this guy totally fucking whacked?
Yep. I mean, what else can you say? The Roman Catholic Church will never live down that they turned away Jewish people running for their lives from the Nazis. Never. And I think Canada did that too. So now history is a reflection of the past, as you guys know. And these 7,000 people, are being interviewed by many different journalistic agencies. And Trump is depicting these people as hired guns by the Republicans. Who the fuck would walk 1,000 miles to freedom, to safety, to have a better life? Women, children, men, all they want to do is work. Now, I agree. You should not let anybody into your house that's not invited. I agree.
It's called an invasion, Frank. That's what it is. You let them into your house, you don't invite them.
That's
to
not
your country, you don't invite them. Both are invasions.
Well, I'm going to fucking tell you right now, after World War I, or after World War II, the Italians, the French, the Irish especially, and when was the big famine? It was during World War I, was it not?
I think it was what was it? Late 1800s?
At the turn of the century. At the turn of the century. The late 1800s, the early 1900s, which was just before World War I. Mm-hmm. Now, if the Americans didn't take them, wasn't the escape from gangs in New York supposed to depict that? Anyways, I'm just telling you, there's different ways to handle things. I agree that there needs to be law and order in your borders. I agree. You need locks on your fucking doors. I agree. I'm not a hypocrite. But there has to be a little bit of fucking, it's got to be a little bit of fucking morality and honesty and love.
All they have to do is do it properly, Frank. That's all. And if they don't want to do it properly, they're invading the United States of America, and it's not going to be pretty.
These people who are desperate to save their lives shouldn't be vetted?
That's bullshit.
What would you do, Eric?
Frank, so I don't want to
back to their death?
prove it other than look at the mob of them.
Right.
Eric, would you send them all back, all 7,000 of them, women, children, and men, to their death?
Well, I don't know.
Obviously not. I mean, it's...
Either do it right or you don't do it. If you have to do it right, you're invading someone else's privacy. That's all.
Well, my parents immigrated to this country, and they came to the pier in Halifax. I think it's Pier 9. And I went to see my parents' name there in Halifax, and I cried like a little girl.
Yeah.
And there's Ellis Island in New York.
Yeah.
And I just think that there needs to be a little humanity.
Well, yeah, listen, there's a lot of people in my family on both sides that are Holocaust survivors. So I've heard stories. I've heard the horrors of what they went through. My mom's sister's husband's mother basically only survived because she lied about her age and said she was older than what she was, so they would take her to work as opposed to killing everyone that was under 16 at the time. So yeah, I mean, like that's the horrors that people went through back then. You obviously want to make sure that nothing like this will ever happen again, and that's why when you read about certain things, and it is scary.
Yeah. And speaking of, now, Frankie, I looked it up. The Great Potato Famine of Ireland went from 1845 to 1849. And since we're on the subject, all four of my grandparents from Donegal came to Canada, landed in New Brunswick. They obviously had some money because they bought a 500-acre farm, so good for them.
Oh, that was the year of the small potato, John.
That's right. I don't think that's
anyways,
good, Billy.
I don't want to. I understand the border and the protection, and I understand not opening the door to everybody that's on the street to your house. Shouldn't only people should come into your house that are invited, and not just the come. But if somebody's at my door and they need help, I'm not going to turn them away.
Well, I'm not, Frank, but certainly not at the expense of blowing my house down.
Right.
No. But
I'm not
people are not going to burn the United States down. And Trump is a fucking asshole. And today he proved what kind of an asshole he is, because he said that he's not going to give any money to Puerto Rico. This is his own tweet.
I saw your response to his tweet.
They will misappropriate the money. Fuck off, you fucking... No moral compass on this asshole.
Yeah. Well, I guess what was the point that he was saying that they've never really done anything for us, kind of thing, and why should
but they're part of the states.
Yeah.
They're part of the states. I mean, what the fuck? They were ravaged and destroyed. There's people still living without power, without running water. Fuck, this guy's fucking evil. Meanwhile, this fucking guy gave a tax. Listen, it's coming back to bite him. The stock market's a fucking mess today.
Yeah, it is.